to Kimmy in the kitchen. So, today was a stressful day and I don't feel like cooking something super elaborate, and I had this soup in mind I wanted to make, but I don't want to go through all the steps to like clean and chop and blah, so we are gonna make tonight what I like to call lazy girl soup. And if you have an Instant Pot, it makes it even lazier, which is wonderful. And it's the great thing to make when you're like busy or stressed out or tired, or your fridge is overflowing with leftover vegetables from Thanksgiving and you don't know what to do with all of them. So basically you like don't even really have to like chop or prepare your veggies. Like I'm putting my carrots in just like cut in half. They're washed and clean, but I didn't even peel them. You don't need to. I did chop my leek up, and I just sliced my celery sticks in half, and then I left the skins on my garlic cloves, and I'm just putting them chopped in half with the skins on because the skin adds extra flavor. And we're gonna strain all of this later anyways, so no point in chopping it up or whatever. As long as they're clean, in the pot they go. So there's some parsley, some more celery, I've got some like quartered red onion, some halved yellow onion, literally all the vegetables left over from Thanksgiving that I didn't use, some more leeks, some more carrots, some more parsley. Let's just get the whole colander of veggies in there. Yum. Now I'm gonna go grab the herbs. Got some fresh rosemary sprigs, the rest of the sage that I pulled off my garden for Thanksgiving, some fresh thyme sprigs, a couple bay leaves. It all looks and smells really amazing. So what I really love about this soup is that it's like a basic broth that you can really do anything with. So I'm gonna start off by pressure cooking this just to get all those wonderful flavors and all those great nutrients out of all of these yummy veggies and herbs. And then I'm just gonna strain it, and the base of that soup, that veggie broth, you can use for anything. So you can just go ahead and eat it as is. I'd recommend adding a little bit of sea salt, a little bit of extra virgin olive oil on top, and it's like a really nice, light, yummy, delicious broth that like warms your heart and your home, and it makes you feel good about saving all those leftover veggies you had in the fridge. So who doesn't love doing that? What I think I'm gonna do with it tonight is, once I strain that broth out, I'm gonna keep part of it because I really wanna make a mussel soup later in the week. And then the other half I'm gonna use with this beauty. This is a celery root. So usually the celery grows out of this part of it. And this is the root of the celery, and it's delicious in soup. So while this guy is pressure cooking for like the first 20 to 30 minutes, I'm going to put Netflix on my phone and clean up this guy, because who doesn't love listening to a book on tape or watching Netflix while cooking? It looks kind of daunting, but you see these in the store a lot this time of year, and I absolutely love them. They're a little bit spicy. They've got great flavor, great fiber, and they smell just like celery. So once I strain the broth out, I may keep some chunks of carrots and some chunks of onions to puree into my final soup. But I'll be adding this and a couple little leftover potatoes from Thanksgiving, and I'll blend those all together with a hand blender. So it'll be kind of like I've got these potatoes too. It'll be like a velvety, creamy, yummy, luxurious soup, and creamy in the sense that it's like pureed vegetables, not that it's cream, because it's very easy to make yummy dishes that are creamy without actually using dairy. This is gonna end up being like a nice, creamy, hearty, yummy, filling, heartwarming comfort soup, because this guy and these guys are gonna turn into like a vegetable puree that tastes like creamy, homey goodness. So who doesn't love that during a pandemic? This soup is gonna make my home happy, and I hope it makes your home happy too. So one more thing, I'm gonna add some pink Himalayan sea salt, because I do prefer my soups a little bit salted. I love pink Himalayan sea salt. I'm gonna put about 2 teaspoons of sea salt in there, and it's gonna add nice, delicious flavor, some healthy minerals, and it will be wonderful. So lazy girl soup, I'm telling ya, it's the way to go. And if you don't have an Instant Pot, You can totally do this on the stovetop. You just might have to watch Netflix for a little bit longer because, well, this will be done in about 20 minutes in the Instant Pot. On the stovetop, you would want to boil it for like 1 to 2 hours. So, you know, that's cool. Watch a couple episodes of The Crown while you're letting your soup boil. You're being totally productive and nobody can tell you that you're not. So in goes my lid. I'm going to put it on sealed, high pressure, and I'm gonna cook this one for 30 minutes. Okay, so the broth is done. I just scooped out, I think I got the last of it. I just used my little mesh sieve here to like take all of the herbs and the veggies out, and they're all over here. So I'm gonna remove a couple cups of this to make mussel soup later in the week. The broth tastes amazing, actually. Oh, it's so good. It's like herby and vegetable-y, and it just tastes like the best, yummiest, like nutrient-rich broth ever. And it looks delicious too. So I'm just ladling some of it into a jar to use later. You can see the color. It looks absolutely beautiful. And that's about it. And now I'm just gonna dump in celery root. So once you like slice the peel off of it, I don't peel it with a peeler. I just slice the edges off of it, like the ugly edges off of it with a knife. And then I chopped up a couple potatoes too, because those go really well with celery root as well. Green apple actually goes really, really well with it also. I know it sounds weird, but if you peel your green apples and you throw them into this soup, they actually are so amazing in it. If I had green apples, I would totally throw them in. So the celery root and the thyme and the potatoes are in there, and then I just picked out a few carrots, a few pieces of celery, a little bit of leek, a little bit of onion, and some little pieces of the herbs from the original like discard bowl that I strained out, just to throw it in here. It'll all get pureed in the end. I tried to keep the harder things out, like the bay leaf and the rosemary and stuff, but a little bit of that onion and garlic flavor is definitely a nice addition to this. So I'm gonna close it back up. I'm gonna cook it on high pressure again for another 25 minutes, and then I'll puree the soup with the hand blender and it'll be all done. So I topped the soup with some of my crispy fried onions from the other night, a little drizzle of organic raw extra virgin olive oil, and some fresh arugula. And it's so creamy and smooth. And delicious. And the crunchy savoriness from those little crispy fried onions is like the perfect addition. So good. Literally, it feels like a hug.